Hi, I'm Dave Vickers and welcome to the Photo Show. It's another Lightroom tutorial today, and we're going to continue looking at the various tools that you have within Lightroom. In the last episode we were looking at the crop tool, and now we're going to move across to the next one that we have in our toolbar here, which is the spot removal tool. Now you can either just click on the icon here, or you can see you've got the keyboard shortcut of just pressing Q on the keyboard. So now as we come into the image, you can see we've got this target area here. And this is helpful now for removing areas of the image that you don't necessarily want, whether they're a spot on the sensor that's causing an issue or something in the picture that you'd rather not have in there. So we'll look at both of those options here. Coming just below the spot removal tool, we have a number of options. First we have clone and heal. By default it's set on heal. And what this allows us to do is much like the healing brush you get in Photoshop. It basically, you pick an area that you want to remove from the image, and it will look at the pixels around that area and fill it in for you. For example, in the image here, let's zoom in a little bit there, we have a couple of spots. There's one there and there's one there, and they are dust spots from the camera sensor. You'll occasionally get this, especially if you're shooting things like skies or single color areas. The spots of dust and grease that are on your sensor will show up. These aren't huge, so we're going to remove those using the spot removal tool. So as we come in, you can see now we've got a target area, and we've got some sliders here, so we can adjust the size of that target area with the size slider. We can adjust the feathering of it, which means whether it's a hard edge or whether it's a soft edge. So we'll feather that up as well, and you can see now that the area is adjusting. Let's take that up to about 60%. You can see now that the target area is now two circles, which is the main area in the middle and a feathered out area afterwards. Next down you have opacity, which is basically how strong the effect is. At 100% it's going to be a very strong effect. Lowering it down is going to give a much lesser effect. So let's lower it down to about 75 for now. Okay, so let's bring our brush in, and you can see here we've got an area there. So we just click on that area there, and it's showing you now that what it's doing is it's sampling from this area to fix the area that we were looking at. It's picked an area of similar pixels to enable it to fix it. So if we unclick the Q now, you can see now that we've removed that spot there. And we've got another one down here. So I'm going to bring in our spot removal tool again. You can see up here that once we're back on the spot removal tool, it's showing you areas that you've already worked on. So you can see the areas where you've already picked out. And I'm going to make the brush size slightly larger now. So you can use the slider here for the size, or you can also use the square bracket keys on your keyboard. So if I push the right hand square bracket, it'll enlarge it. If I press the left hand square bracket, it will decrease it. So it's enlarged it up a little bit there. Come over to our spot we want to remove, click, and you can see there what it's actually done. It's actually picked an area that had a little cloud in it, so it's duplicated the cloud. Now we can move that around, our target area around, until we find an area. See, that's picking up the plane trail and the cloud. Let's move that around till we find a clear area, like there, let go. And you can see now it's removed that spot. If we come off of the spot removal tool, you can see both of those spots have been removed. Clicking back onto the spot removal tool, let's look at the other option now we have, which is clone. What clone will do is help you to remove something from the image, but by choosing an area that you want to remove it from. So for example, with this plane trail here, if we click on that, again, that's now showing us the target area that it's going to remove it from. And we can move that all the way around. And you can see now that we're picking up the other area there. In the very same way that we moved around the spot removal tool there. In this example, what we're doing is we're actually choosing somewhere in the image specifically that we want to replace that part with. I'm not entirely happy with that, and the main reason is because I should have set the opacity here to 100%. So what I can do, if I don't like what I've done, if I right click on there, we've now got options whether to keep that as a clone, change it to heal. What I'm going to do is delete it. So now we're back to where we started, and I'm going to raise our opacity back up to 100% here. So now that I've got the opacity set at 100%, I'm actually going to bring the brush size down. So I'm going to make a smaller brush. So we're just dealing with just the plane trail here. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to paint a line along the plane trail. And you can see now that it's showing us the area that it's choosing its clone from. So we can move that around until we're happy with it. Let's bring this out to full screen now. And you can see now that we've moved the plane trail from the image. If I do this side-by-side view there, you can see in the original image we have the plane trail and the 2 spots. In this image I haven't quite got it all, but we've got rid of some of the plane trail and the 2 spots there. So a tiny little bit more work and we'd have this completely sorted out. So let's drag across there on that part there. It's going to show us the area that it's cloning from. I'm going to bring that down a touch there. I'm going to add another one just in there as well. Maybe drag that across to there. And now if we click on the spot removal tool or press Q on our keyboard, that will get rid of all the data points. And we can see there it's not quite worked there, so I'm going to do one more little click on that one there, and I'm going to change the area where it cloned from. And you can see as I move it around, that area gets lighter and darker. If I bring it all the way over here, if I bring it up the Eiffel Tower, you can see it's going to clone part of the Eiffel Tower onto it. But what I want is something reasonably close in colour and tone to that part of the sky. Like there. Let's come off the spot removal tool. There you go, and now we've removed not only the 2 spots that were on the image as well, but also the plane trail. And you can do this on anything on the image. It doesn't have to be blemishes or spots. It could be people or objects or cars, things that you want to remove from the image. But that's how you use the spot removal within Lightroom. I hope that's been helpful. For now, I'm Dave Vickers. This is The Photo Show. Thanks for watching. See you next time.